probably been complaining about the quality of the summer season shows a lot more than they deserve. The reason for that is that I've been way more excited for October to roll around, since the fall season offers a lot more shows that are way more up my alley. That is why I've picked out 5 shows I would like to have a little chat about, either because I'm quite confident they will be good, or because I'm pretty sure they will be awful, but still somehow managed to catch my attention. My name is Kristin, this is STALK, let's dive right into my first season preview in this very new environment. And I hope this all works out, because otherwise this will be hella embarrassing. Halfway through the first season, MAPPA announced that the Garo anime franchise would consist of 2 seasons and 1 movie. The second season, with the beautiful title Garo, which translates into a burning red or a flaming red moon, will start airing on October 9. While the first season took place in a medieval European-inspired universe, the second season will take place in Japan during the Heian period, so from 800 to 1200 AD, with a completely new set of characters and supposedly a female lead, which, to be honest, is not very obvious from the key visual. So I assume you could start with the second season, but I recommend to check out the first season anyway. In Garo, we find ourselves in a world in which so-called Machi Kishi are supposed to protect humanity from demons who take over a person's soul and body. I will miss Germán and Leon and Emma from the first season, but since the same people are involved with the second season as have been with the first one, I assume that at the very least the new characters will be a very likable bunch. What I loved and hated about the first season was that they were really good at building up tension, creating a universe full of its own lore, history and problems, as well as giving each character its own background and conflict. Just to run out of time for a payoff that suited this huge build-up. The end of both arcs felt slightly rushed, even cliched and therefore disappointing, because it was generally good and fun up to that point. I really hope they've learned time management, otherwise I'm really excited for Garo. Another one of those shows that get overlooked way too often, and another point on my list where I will follow Masaru into the deepest depths of hell. Normally I would just ignore Dance with Devils. Richard leaves me alone, I leave them alone, and we are both happier that way. But as some people have an eye for English or English in anime, I do the same thing with German, and this one quote under the logo sounded way too familiar. Dass ich erkenne, was die Welt im Innersten zusammenhält. Schau aller Wirkenskraft und Samen und tu nicht mehr in Worten Kram. You brought this upon yourself, Richard. You brought this upon yourself. You can't quote Faust and now expect me to jump on this. Dance with Devils is a reverse harem brought to you by Brain Space, directed by Bruce Springwright's Ai Yoshimura, and based on a story by Richard, in which our trusty heroine is ruled by 5 devils. If Richard rings a bell, it's the very same company responsible for Diabolic Lovers. What caught my attention here is that the idea actually has potential. I don't know if it would make it a reverse harem, since it's still a tragedy and doesn't really leave room for a really happy end. For the context, if you're not familiar with one of the dramas almost every student in Germany will have to overanalyze at one point in his life. The main character Faust in the original play is a man who has dedicated his entire life to studying, trying to figure out how the world and the universe work. The quote from the title is from that part of the story where he realizes that, although he has dedicated his entire life to his research, he still knows nothing. In his frustration and despair, he decides to dwell into the realms of dark magic and alchemy, which is how he gets involved with the devil, who ruins both his and his lover's life. The original play takes place in the 16th century. Although we know a lot more nowadays than we did back then, there is still a lot we haven't figured out quite yet. So why not make a deal with the devil, or well, 5, to cure cancer or stop wars or whatever it is that motivates our main character. It doesn't even matter whether it's the literal devil or just a metaphorical one. And at this point I've probably already put more thought into it than all of the people involved. And the extent of how Dance with Devils is going to deal with the source material will come down to the quote in the title, the pretty devil boys, and the poodle. That is not a poodle. At least it's a dog. They've tried. And our female lead will most likely be the cute and innocent type, just to end up as a punching bag for the boys. Actually, that is pretty close to the relationship in the book. Maybe I'm wrong, and at the very least it will be interesting. I guess we will find out that in 3 months. Unless it's so bad I end up throwing my laptop out the window. And I still couldn't stop you from watching this. Dance with Devils will start airing on the 5th of October. Let's talk about something nice, shall we? A new year, a new Gundam series rolls around. 2015 marks the year I got into Gundam, so deep actually I even started building them. So far I've seen Gundam 00, both series of the Build Fighters installment, the original Mobile Suit Gundam from 1979, as well as a couple of episodes of G Gundam, and I'm also right in the middle of watching Zeta Gundam. I can watch and do that all day. Anyway, the 2015 Gundam series is called Iron-Blooded Orphans and can be your chance to get into the franchise as well. You see, I always found getting into Gundam quite difficult because it's a franchise that has been there forever and most likely always will be. It has various different timelines and universes, and if you ask 5 fans where the hell you should start and what timeline is the best, you will most likely get 5 different answers. Luckily, you don't have to do anything like this to enjoy Iron-Blooded Orphans, as it takes place in its own timeline and universe. Liking sci-fi and huge robots punching each other helps, of course, and Iron-Blooded Orphans definitely features some really pretty ones. I love the new design with those really huge shoulders and a tiny waist, and I can't wait to get my hands on the Gunpla set. The only thing I dislike are the feet. Not that it matters, because nothing will ever beat Star Winning anyway, which is the best Gundam in the whole wide world. I got carried away here. Our story starts when a girl called Cordelia approaches a security company to provide her with guards for a journey to Earth, where she wants to plead for the independence of a settlement located on Mars. Before they even get close to Earth, they are attacked by a group of radicals hired to dispose of her. A few boys from the security firm take that as their chance to run away in the impending chaos, as the security firm itself is a rather shady one. The director and writer for Iron-Blooded Orphans are Tatsuya and Mari Okada. They work together in Anohana, a show about a group of childhood friends that has to deal with the sudden death of one of their own, as well as a feature film called Kokouin. What I love about shows and movies they create is their deep understanding of human emotion and human relationship. They usually don't write the big stories about saving the world. Their stories are small but impactful. The tiny bits and pieces I know about Iron-Blooded Orphans already offer so many different conflicts, reaching from the struggle with a totalitarian and corrupt regime to the group dynamics among our main characters. Iron-Blooded Orphans could be what Gundam as a franchise needs, although that might not be what the fans want to see and what other shows like Ignore Zero or even Gundam 00 desperately try to be. The soundtrack for Iron-Blooded Orphans will be provided by Masaru Yokoyama, the brilliant young man behind Nobunaga Concerto's more than gorgeous soundtrack. Call me excited, I want to see this succeed! The show will start airing on the 4th of October and will most likely be available for free legal streaming via Gundam.info. And now, this. I am slightly scared of High School Star Musical. To understand that, we have to go back to the time when I watched Utano Prince Summer, a reverse harem taking place at a school that creates idols. The first scene is a performance of the band that is supposed to perform over the course of the show. The first real line of this particular song is the question, "Are you ready?" The first time I answered this for myself with, well, I don't know, which quickly turned into, oh, I don't think I am, followed by, I felt so awkward during the entire performance you have no idea. I can handle campy stuff like G Gundam, Ninja Slayer from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but this was a whole new level of embarrassment. To be fair, it got better over the course of the performance, but I never stopped cringing completely. And yet, I'm heading down the idol path again. Why? The voice cast. Sometimes I base my decision what I should watch next solely on the cast involved, and it's even more important when the show is actually about people with great voices. In my Sakamichi no Apollon review I mentioned that I would love to hear Yoshimasa Hosoya again in a music anime in which he doesn't voice a drummer but a singer, because he's actually a pretty damn good one. He has slowly but steadily made his way to my list of top 3 favorite seiyuu, so I can't skip this show. Compared to the roles he often gets pigeonholed in, his voice is a lot softer when he sings, which I really enjoy. Public service announcement. His character's confession in Fire Emblem If is also partly sung, which is a shame because I never go for the children. Besides him, the cast will consist of Natsuki Hanae, whose sample song sounds so sweet it might cause diabetes, and that Kensho Ono can sing is someone we know since Kuroko no Basuke and his following solo debut. Completely new to the game is Arthur Lansbury in his first major role. I was slightly surprised by Tomoaki Maino. It's completely possible that the character song just didn't suit him, but what I've heard from him so far was quite good. Character songs are always a gamble, and I have this very same issue with Daisuke Ono as well. Funny story, Junichi Suwabe, who voices Ren in Uta no Prince-sama, will voice one of the teachers in Star Mew. So maybe Star Mew is an alternate universe ending to Uta no Prince-sama. But to clear this up, Star Mew is not a reverse harem. It's actually directed by Shinsuke Tada, who has directed Kuroko no Basuke, so I'm confident that this show will have a high focus on music and comedy, and the worst thing that could happen to the characters besides horrible CG bodies could be slash fiction, but no show with more than one male protagonist will ever be safe from that. If you're interested, High School Star Musical will start airing on the 5th of October, and hopefully be available on Crunchyroll.
桜子さんと一緒にいるとなぜか死体を見つけてしまうんだ。
桜子さんの足元には死体が埋まっている。
And finally tonight, a beautiful anime produced by Troika with the title Beautiful Bones, Sakurako's Investigation. Since the Japanese title is really long, I'm going to stick with the English one, although I don't know how I feel about it, since Bones already exists. And the storyline is pretty similar. I jumped on this bandwagon because the promo material looked incredibly beautiful and it's labeled as a mystery show. The main character, Sakurako, has an affinity towards bones and skeletons, and solves cases involving them together with a high school boy. I like crime stories and seeing people solve riddles. I enjoyed Rambuki Kan's murder mysteries just as much as the more trivial things the cast of Yoga had to deal with. Both shows found very interesting ways to visualize both the initial situation and the solution, and I hope that will be the case here too. Story-wise, it would be totally cool with a mixed bag of stories that look like gruesome crimes but turn out to be something much more simple, and more serious cases, maybe one or two overarching ones to connect our characters. I'll be happy with whatever they serve up. Judging from the imagery, they've already won. If this caught your attention, Beautiful Bones will start airing on the 7th of October and will be available on Crunchyroll. Besides those 5, I'll be watching Concrete Revolution and One Punch Man, both being slightly different superhero stories, among many others. The only show I'm not going to pick up until it's finished airing in spring 2016 is the 2nd season of Haikyuu. The hype for the show is real and I won't ruin it for myself by hanging on from week to week. Also, there are a lot of great movies coming out this fall. Of course, there will be the new Digimon movie in November, followed by a Blu-ray release in December, as well as High Speed, which is a prequel to Free, and Empire of Corpses, a Frankenstein-Sherlock Holmes crossover taking place in a 19th century steampunk London. Actually, I'm really hopeful for all the Project Ito movies, so Empire of Corpses, Genocidal Organ, and Harmony, since they are all based on highly praised and award-winning sci-fi novels. This video has only been a small glimpse into what is actually coming out this fall. Will those shows be great? Will we remember them in 20 plus years? Well, I don't know. I find even the assumption unlikely that we as humanity will still be here in 20 plus years. For further information on all the shows that will be coming out this fall, I recommend checking out anichart.net, so don't forget to let me know in the comments below what you will be watching. My next video will be a movie review that featured a lovely artificial intelligence with Natsume's voice. So if you're interested in that, then don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you next time.